Okay, so the text box widget, let me go ahead and get that added here. When adding a text box, I'm just going to double click text box here, and we have the option to link this up to an existing page. And essentially what that means is I can use this browse option here to browse for any page that I've already created before, any page, not any portal, but any page that I've already created before, so that this text box will actually display the information on that page. And then this text box and that page will be directly linked together so that anything I add or delete from this text box will be add or removed from that page as well, and vice versa. Now, naturally, I'm just going to click Create New Page so that this is a fresh and clean text box so I can just start adding information right away. Okay, and I get this empty little bar down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and configure this, or go into the widget settings. Now, I'm not going to discuss this text editor. I have another video going over this text editor more in depth. I encourage you to watch that. What I will talk about is this bottom portion down here, and this is things like general settings and SEO tools. So underneath general, this is where we give this a title. I'll just say training text box. And we can also change the author. Now the author is particularly useful because if you happen to have a user who does not have any permissions at all, you just created them, they're not assigned to any groups, they can't do anything in Cyberschool. So if you take that user and you place their name in this author field, they will be able to edit this text box as if they were an admin, but only this text box. So they'll have administrative permissions over just this text box because they are the author of this text box. Then we have SEO tools, and here we accept keywords and a summary. So this is used for search engine optimization, and that's just a fancy way of saying the first page of Google. So you'll enter in your keywords here, such as like training, comma, cyberschool, comma, text box, so on and so forth. A comma delimited list here. And so whenever Google or Bing or DuckDuckGo happens to index your site, they'll be looking for these keywords here. And these will actually be the search terms that'll actually result in this particular content here. So after Google indexes a site and I go onto Google and I search up cyber school training, this content here will actually the first result or so will be a page that contains the content I placed into here. And then the summary is just the description that goes along with that. Okay, then we have resource files. And resource files are essentially files that are going to be attached to this text box. So I can add any number of files here, and they'll attach themselves to this text box and be on your page as long as this text box exists. So they actually won't be uploaded to Cyberschool. You won't be able to access them through any strange pathways or any of the links that you set. They'll just be attached to this text box, and this is primarily used for like files that you're constantly updating, like weekly bulletins or syllabuses or menus or something like that, or flyers even. And this to just ensure that the information in here is always up to date as well, and not to run up your server with outdated information. Okay, then we have revisions, and this is if I ever make a change to this and I kind of just want to go back on it, I can click the magnifying glass, and it'll actually load up this content area with that revision content. So let me go ahead and see if I can get a revision. This is a paragraph. Let's go ahead and save this. Let's remove this and save that again. So now under revisions, you'll see I have a number of revisions. Let's go ahead and click this magnifying glass, and it says this is a paragraph. So it'll just load up with the information or the content that was on during that particular revision. So lastly, in privacy, this is who can view this content. By default, it's set to everyone, but we can say password protect our content. So I'll just enter in a password here. And now it says to view this page, please enter your password below. So I won't be able to view the content of this text box until I enter in the correct password and submit this. There we go. Okay, we also have custom here, and this is just things like allowing certain groups or certain users to view this content, not necessarily uh, not necessarily like people visiting your site, but actual like people who can log into Cyberschool. So this is how the text box is configured.